Okay. That being said, we have a call on line 4. We got Tom.
Hi, how you doing?
Morning.
I almost fell asleep during that unsung hero.
Oh, come on.
Sorry. Hey,
It was short.
Pardon?
Yeah, I kept it short. Go on.
I'm in a hotel room, and I was flipping
I'm sorry.
And you guys are a pleasant change for Sunday morning programming.
Thank you.
With that said, however, God either is or he isn't. So we've got two choices. And what we say doesn't matter. He either is or he isn't. Secondly, matter cannot create itself. And so therefore I think that it's a far bigger stretch for your side to believe that matter always existed than it is for my side. God existed. God created matter. Now, I also know that there are a lot of jerks on TV like Jimmy Swaggart, and I'd much rather watch you guys. And I am all for freedom of thought, because I think that's very important, and that's what our country is founded on. But as far as, I used to be an atheist, and I couldn't believe it anymore. But that's all.
Couldn't believe it anymore. Couldn't believe it anymore? Okay.
You found belief.
You began believing.
Prove to me that matter created itself.
Oh.
I don't know what
You might
has
want
to
to do
do
some
with...
particle, antiparticle, study some of those tests, subatomic particle, quantum theory. Say some of the tests in the labs recently done with their antimatter counterparts. Matter comes from nothing all the time in a vacuum.
But about the God stuff, I would have to say that if you're asking me to prove anything, you should start by proving that God exists.
Well,
So,
I can't. But I said well, I'm talking stretch. It was a bigger stretch for you guys to believe that there was no plan, and it just came about out of nothingness.
well, there are thousands of other gods to choose from, and you have discarded all but one. We've discarded that one more, gone that one little tiny step further, so there isn't really that much difference between us, but as long as you're thinking about it, go out and try to find that God. I urge you, because it's important to you.
I think it's ludicrous to say go find that God, because, well, God either exists or he doesn't exist, and he's not necessarily a Christian God. God is.
Well, there you go. That's good reasoning, but it doesn't back up any of the claims of Christianity.
Well, I'm not trying to back up Christianity claims at all. I did not. I think I started off by saying that God either is or he isn't. And
Which one?
But you say it by what I say it by what you say does not change God. So, you know, we can, all the people that are coming in with these arguments about Christian God and God, you know, God gave us a spot in our little heart too. You know, all throughout history, man has had this spot in his heart that God put there so that we would understand him. It's just, you know, that may be true, but that's not, you guys are just sucking those in and saying, man, I'm glad you guys are coming up with these arguments because they're completely stupid. That doesn't mean that God exists just because I want God to exist. God exists because he just does.
Oh, I would contend that God exists because you want God to exist, because it's a need within you to have something.
No.
And he exists in your mind.
Believe me, if God exists, I'm going straight to hell.
Well, that's not very productive of religion, is it? Why did you pick that up instead of atheism?
One problem that I have with it, you know, it's completely depressing, and that's just...
It ought to be.
Religion is man-made, and that's what man-made religion has done to me, and that's why I left it. That's why I became an atheist. But looking at my options as an atheist, or not options really, because my options for a living, I can do anything I want to, but looking at what the possibilities for existence are, either God exists or God doesn't exist, what created matter. I don't care about any studies. There is just too much order in our universe, in our world, to say that this did not come about, this was not created by some supreme being. And you know, you think about it, and I've heard the watch thing in the dryer, and that didn't do it for me. Just the idea of matter creating itself, it just doesn't float.
I think that's an attempt at a scientific explanation made by people who do not come from the side of science.
Prove that God doesn't exist.
Proof of the negative?
Yeah.
You were an atheist once. You should know that's impossible. Prove a God exists. I was a religionist, and I know that is impossible.
That he doesn't exist.
We don't have a charge to do that. We don't have the responsibility of doing
You're making
that.
the claims to God that leaves you with the burden of proof.
And I said that it's a stretch. It's a far bigger stretch for you guys than for me.
Okay, well, thanks for calling.